Good morning, girls. In the last lecture, we learnt about RMI. We did three applications with the help of RMI. Today, we are going to learn about servlets. What is servlet? That we will cover. Where we can use servlet? That also will cover. And the life cycle and the methods of servlet we will learn in this chapter. Right? Let us begin with the meaning of web application. Here you can see on the screen the meaning of web application. A web application is an application accessible from the web. Whatever application you can access from the web is called web application. A web application is composed of web components like servlets, JSP, filter, etc. Right? And other components such as HTML. All of you are very well aware of HTML, but the remaining three, servlets, JSP, and filter, are new for you. The web components typically execute in a web server and respond to the HTTP request sent by a client. Here, servlet technology is used to create a web application. It resides at server side and generates dynamic web pages. All of you know that through the help of HTML, you can generate a static web page. If you want to change some data in your web page, for that you have to take help of servlet technology of Java. Servlet technology is robust and scalable because of Java language. We all are aware of these things, that Java language is robust and scalable. So these two advantages are available with servlet technology also. Before servlet, the CGI, Common Gateway Interface, was used. This is a scripting language. It was popular as a server-side programming language, but there was many disadvantage of using this technology for developing websites, web applications. We have discussed this advantage here. Here you can see the drawback of CGI applications. It need high response time because CGI programs executes in their own OS shell. It need a special OS shell for execution, right? So for that it need a more response time compared to servlet. Then second is CGI is not scalable. CGI programs are not always secure or object oriented, whereas the web application developed through Java servlets are more secure, and even we can develop an application with the help of object oriented concept. CGI is a platform dependent language, whereas application developed through the servlet are platform independent. So here you can see the drawback of CGI programs. Because of all these disadvantages, developers started looking for better CGI solution, and the Sun Microsystem developed this type of easier and better performance based servlet application, right, as a solution of CGI technology. Let us start try to understand what is servlet. Here you can see the introduction of servlet. We have learned that web server generates two different types of responses. Number one is static response and number two is dynamic response. However, a web server can generate static response in the form of HTML, right? HTML, the results generated through HTML is called static. To generate a dynamic response, a programming language that perform a dynamic operation is required. It is needed. So here the solution is servlet for generating dynamic operations. Servlet is a Java program that can perform dynamic operation and send it to the web server as a response to the client machine. The web server then send this response to the web client. Let us look at these two types below. static response and dynamic response. Every time we type http www.google.com in your browser, right, you are directed to the home page of Google. This is called a static page, as the web server display the same HTML whenever you type this web address, and display the page to the client on request of it. Now, what is dynamic response? Dynamic response means when users log into their Facebook account, different pages will be generated for different users. Every time you will get the different page on a Facebook account whenever you enter the address of your account. These are not a static page that are saved on the server side and later displayed. Instead, they are dynamically generated based on the user ID. For different user ID, the Facebook page will be different for everyone, right? That pages will be stored at the server side. So you would see the pages relevant to your login. This requires multiple responses from the server, called dynamic response, right? And hence we need servlets, which is programming capability on the server side to generate such dynamic content. What are the advantage of using servlets? What are the advantage of using servlets? Let's see. Number one, less response time is required because each request runs in a separate thread of Java. Then second is servlets are scalable, right? Whenever you want to do some changes, you can easily do it as a programmer. Servlets are robust and object oriented as well, right? It is secure compared to CGI, and we can develop a object oriented based application through it. Servlets are platform independent. Whatever what web application is running on whatever platform, the servlets are platform independent, so it does not need any specific platform for running a servlet. Let us see the architecture of servlet. Here you can see the pictorial form of servlet, right? Here the first one is user workstation. This is called browser, from where client can send a request, right? HTTP request we can send to the web server. The second unit is web server, where the servlet always executes and deal with the database which is required for the application. Servlets are executed with the help of web containers. It also uses HTML, generate the response and return the response back to the client machine by giving HTTP response. So this is a structure of servlet or architecture of servlet. Here we have a user connected via browser to the servlet, sending HTTP request to the web server. The server has the web container containing servlet, which gathers the data from the database and generate the output in the form of HTML. The HTML files are sent back via HTTP response to the client browser, right? So we can see the result on the browser, or we can say that we can see the output on user workstation. Web server is a program that sends HTTP response, and servlet is a Java program that deal with the classes and object. How is the response generated in the HTTP format? It is done by the web server. It purely works on HTTP protocol. This is done using a web container present in the web server. Here you can see the web container in a web server, right? Web container deals with the HTTP request, send the query to database, generate the response accordingly and convert it into HTML format and return the response back to the user workstation. Web container is a built on top of the Java EE platform, and it implements the Servlet API and the services required to process HTTP. HTTP means, here we can consider the transmission protocol, internet protocol, TCP IP request. Okay, Java servlets are components that must exist in a web container. Servlets are most important part of any Java application, web applications. This must be exist in a web container. Container activates the servlet that matches the requested URL by calling the service method on an instance of servlet class. Activation of the service method for a given HTTP request is handled in a separate thread within the web container protocol. Whenever the request comes, the service method for a given HTTP request is handled by the web container as a separate thread within the container protocol. With the help of API, Servlet API, the servlets executes, right? So Servlet API consists of two important packages that encapsulates all the important classes and interface. Here no need to build Servlet's API ourselves. These are already built-in packages available with your Java source. They are namely javax.servlet and javax.servlet.http. These packages encapsulate all the required classes and interfaces of Servlet API. Here you can see the list of interfaces of javax.servlet, interfaces and classes. You can see the list of all the interfaces and classes: servlet, servlet input stream, servlet context and servlet output stream, servlet config, servlet request wrapper, servlet request, servlet response wrapper, servlet response and servlet request events. You can see the title here. In the first column, interfaces are displayed, listed, and in the second column all the classes are listed. You have to just go on through this list, nothing else. We will use these interfaces and classes in future. Whenever we do start programming, then at that time we will use this interfaces and classes in our application, right? Some important classes and interfaces of the second package, javax.servlet.http. Again, classes and interfaces are listed over here. You have just gone through the list of these classes and interfaces. Again, we will use all these classes and interface whenever required. Whenever we develop our program, we'll use this classes and interface, right? Servlet interface. Servlet interface provides 5 methods. Basically, it provides 5 methods. Out of these 5 methods, 3 methods are included in Servlet lifecycle methods, and the rest 2 are non-lifecycle methods. I repeat, there are 5 methods included in Servlet interface. Out of these 5 methods, the 3 methods are included in the life cycle of Servlet, whereas the remaining 2 are non-life cycle methods. Here you can see the list of all the methods. First one is service method, second is init method, third one is destroy method, fourth one is get servlet config method, and the fifth one is get servlet info method. Out of these 5 methods, as I told you, the first 3, service, init and destroy, these 3 methods are a part of life cycle of Servlet, whereas the remaining 2, get servlet config and getServletInfo. These two are non-life cycle method of servlets. Generic servlet class. Generic servlet is an abstract class that provides implementation of most of the basic servlet methods. This is very important class. Without this class we cannot define a servlet, right? We cannot create an application without this class. Methods of generic servlet class are given here: init, service, destroy, the basic methods inherited from servlet interface, right? Then servlet config, getServletConfig, getServletInfo. These are the 5 basic methods. Except this, there are some more methods defined in this class: getServletContext, getInitParameter, getInitParameter names, getServletName, log with 2 parameters, right? These are the methods of generic servlet class, which is implemented from a servlet interface. HTTP servlet class. HTTP servlet is also an abstract class. This class gives implementation of various service method of servlet interface. To create a servlet, we should create a class that extends HTTP servlet abstract class. The servlet class that we will create must not override service method. Our servlet class will override only the do_get and or do_post method, depends on the client side HTTP request sent by the client. The service method of HTTP servlet class listens to the HTTP method, whether it is sent by get method, whether it is sent by post method, that it get from the request stream, and invoke accordingly either do_get method or do_post method based on the HTTP method type. Here let us see how the servlet works. It is a quick revision. User sends request for a servlet by clicking a link that has URL to a servlet. You can see here the first step, right? By clicking on the link that has URL to a servlet, user send a request. Then in the second step, the container find the servlet using deployment descriptor and create 2 objects. Deployment descriptor will learn about this thing in future. The container find the proper servlet, right, using the deployment descriptor, and creates 2 objects of HTTP servlet request and 1 object of HTTP servlet response. Here you can see in the pictorial form, request and response. These are the 2 objects generated by the container to deal with the request sent by client. In the third step, the container creates or allocates a thread for that request and call the servlet service method and passes the request response object as an argument. Here in the third step, the container allocates a thread for the particular servlet and send a message through the service method, and as a parameter send the object of request and response to the servlet. In the fourth step, the service method then decides which servlet method, do_get or do_post, to call based on the HTTP request method sent by the client. Okay, suppose the client sent HTTP GET request, so the service will call servlet's do_get method. And if the client sent HTTP POST request, so the service will call the servlet's do_post method. Here you can see the pictorial form of fourth step, where do get method or do post method will be chosen by the container. Fifth step, then the servlet uses response object to write the response back to the client. Here you can see that request is sent by the request object and the response object to write the response back to the client. Sixth step is, after the service method is completed, the thread dies and the request and response object are ready for garbage collection. Service method, after the completion of service method, thread automatically dies. No need to die it by a user or a programmer, right? It dies itself, and the request and response object are ready for the garbage collection. So these are the steps of servlet execution. Now next we will cover servlet life cycle. Here you can see the 5 steps of servlet life cycle. Let us see one by one. Number 1 is to load servlet class. The second step of life cycle is to create servlet instance. Number 3 is call the init method. Fourth step is call the service method, and finally in the fifth step, after the execution of servlet, it call the destroy method to destroy the thread generated for a servlet. In the first step, loading servlet class, a servlet class is loaded when the first request comes from the client side, for the servlet is received by the web container. In the second step, servlet instance creation. After the servlet class is loaded, web container creates the instance of it. Servlet instance is created only once in the whole life cycle. Keep in mind, servlet instance is created only once in the life cycle. This question is important for your final exams. Every time in the paper you will find this question with 1 mark weightage. So keep in mind that the servlet instance is created only once throughout the life cycle. Step number 3 is to call the init method. Init method is called by the web container on servlet instance to initialize the servlet. Here you can see the signature of init method. It accepts a single parameter of type servlet config. Here as a parameter you can see the argument for init method, servlet config and config, which can throw servlet exception in case of error. Fourth step is call to the service method. The container call the service method each time the request for a servlet is received. Initially it calls the init method, right? Then after, whenever the request come from the client side, it always activate the service method every time the request for servlet is received. The service method will then call the do get method or do post method. It is based on the type of the HTTP request, as I have explained in the previous session. Signature of service method. Here you can see the prototype or signature or the object of parameters of service methods: public void service. Here we will send 2 parameters of type servlet request and the second parameter of type servlet response, right? Name, you can define the name of this object as per your desire, but for better understanding, here we always define the object of servlet request as a request, and the object of servlet response as a response. This method also throws servlet exception or IO exception in case of error arise, right? So this is a signature of service method. We always use this method whenever we create an application of servlet. So do remember this signature of service method. The fifth step is to call the destroy method. The web container call the destroy method before removing servlet instance, giving it a chance for clean up the activity. Thread created by the service method will be destroyed first, and then the servlet instance will be removed by calling the destroy method. This method will be called by the web container every time. You must keep one thing in your mind, that servlet don't have a main method. Always remember one thing, that servlets don't have a main method, as we always define a main method in our Java programs, right? Servlets do not have a main method. Web container manages the life cycle of servlet instance. We are talking about the execution of servlet. The execution of servlets are managed by the web container. So here no need to define a main method for servlet. So this is all about the servlet theory, servlet life cycle, right? Now in the next step we will learn how to create a servlet. How to create a servlet uh, means here we'll see the steps to create a servlet application using the Tomcat server. You can create a server application through Tomcat server, as well as you can use any editor like Eclipse or NetBeans for creating your application, right? But in the first step I will show you how to develop a servlet application using Tomcat server, and then after learning this we will go with editor NetBeans, and with NetBeans we will use the Glassfish server for developing our application. So I think this is more than enough for today, so we'll stop our discussion here. Thank you.